Hi everyone. Here's a video of my latest trying, the Buddha's Eyes, which is my interpretation of it. And I wish I could say that I was some meditation master and I had great insights all the time, but unfortunately I don't. I do meditate when I can, and I do clearly remember the moments when it was really working and I thought to myself I would be doing it constantly. However, of course, life kind of, I don't want to say gets in the way, because you can certainly find your times. But sometimes it does escape, and I find my priorities get a little bit out of whack. But the first time I remember having that moment where I realized how connected I was with everything else. I've had a number of them, but one of my very clear ones, I was driving, I was probably 16 years old, and I became so overcome by the moment. The way the light was shining my steering wheel, the way it smelled, the way the leaves were. And I had to pull the car over, and I just breathed in deeply and was just completely in awe of my moment, the surrounding, the sensation of actually just being there and not being in some kind of state of transition or anxiety or thought about past or future, which is what we're really striving for when we meditate. And sometimes I think it can just kind of hit you in the head in the most remarkable way and sort of remind you what it would be like to feel that. And I think no matter how much you do it, it's always going to be something that you have to find your way back to. If only we could just exist in that state. But I think no matter how high you get on the ladder of awareness, you're still going to have to struggle a little bit. And I have been reading a number of books and listening to a lot of lectures on Buddhist philosophy and practice, and how you might try to elevate your state, your consciousness, your awareness. And just like anything else, of course, it takes work. And I think sometimes that's why I love doing art so much, is that I think it's some way like a portal to that state. You can't really not be in the moment when you're really involved and you're drawing or painting or sculpture. It really is, I think, kind of active meditation, being someone who's so, I don't want to say antsy, but I guess I am a little bit antsy. I hate sitting. I have a hard time doing things like going to movies unless it's really, really, really engaging. I just can't sit very much without having either my hands busy or having myself occupied with something in some active way. So I think for someone like myself, a walking meditation or meditation that involves some kind of movement are the best. I do have some success meditating while visualizing and doing movements and imagining that chi energy force gathering in between my hands as I rotate them back and forth, and really starting to feel something. But I think that those moments are really powerful. And I'll say this is kind of interesting for me. A couple of years ago, I was actually getting more into a regular practice of meditating, and I got this sort of like a tinnitus, this hum in my ears, and I was getting kind of scared. Like that, like, well, I know this is linked to hearing loss, and this is freaking me out. I don't recall doing anything that would damage my hearing, but I started doing some research, and I discovered that it's common to have that sound, almost like a frequency, when you do start meditating. And it's almost like it aids you into getting into the meditative state. And I thought that was just pretty amazing that you could adapt on such a fine level to allow yourself to more easily transition into that state. So I am definitely motivated and would like to spend more time in a practice of this kind. I think it really calls to me in a way that maybe some more formal spiritual practices just don't. I don't want to say it's not formal. It is. It has its methods and techniques, and it's a very advanced philosophy. But I think it's just a little bit more open, I suppose. And so I've always been drawn to basic the basic idea of Buddhism, and I've gotten a little bit more engaged in reading and learning about it, because I think that no matter what our way is, our thought process is, finding a way that other people have discovered and taking what we need from that is really important to our own personal growth. So in this drawing, I was really trying to capture that feeling of when you really just lose yourself, when your breath and yourself and your physical being, your consciousness sort of merge into that one particular moment, and you feel that everything drops away. There are no weights. There's just a sense of coolness and freedom with maybe a pinpoint of warmth. And I really wanted to kind of mix primarily the warm and cool colors to express that sort of balance, that sentiment of just nowness and expansion. And that's something that I also wanted to do, I think, with the lines. I have kind of a labyrinth motif sort of in the center of the head because of this sort of journey to inwardness, and the lines in these two sort of expanding partial circles on each side. I wanted the energetic kind of feeling that you get through really focused breathing. So this is the final piece. I use watercolor pencils, pen, ink. Please subscribe and follow me on Instagram.